It's time for Party Scoopers. We get a Democrat and a Republican in the studio with us this morning. We have Jeff Link from Link Strategies and our traffic reporter, Craig Robinson, who reported on that crash.
What's happening out there, Craig?
That you just saw over at 7th and MLK. Stay away from 7th and MLK if you can. Thank you so much for the great job, man.
I was running late. I'm like, oh no, what's this? And then
there it is. All right, perfect. So, big debates coming up. Everybody going to be involved in a debate here real soon.
Yeah, no, tonight we have a Fox Business debate. It's going to be fascinating because the main stage is limited to 8. And the 8 it's limited to, 5 of them aren't very good debaters.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean,
5 aren't very good debaters.
Well, I mean, let's just be honest.
Okay.
I mean,
I think
he's shooting. He's shooting low, by the way. There's about 8 that aren't good debaters on the main stage.
no, look, this debate sets up really well, though, if you're Ted Cruz, who doesn't have to deal with Mike Huckabee being on this debate stage.
True.
Or if you're, Carly Fiorina, who has done well in debates. I don't think Ben Carson's going to be cheering a condensed debate stage, which means he's going to get more attention, more scrutiny after the week that he's had. So there's a lot to watch for in this debate, but I think that overall, I don't know if we're going to achieve anything from going from 9 or 10 to down to 8. I think it's still going to be much the same.
Well, I think it's going in the right direction, though.
Well, it is. Yeah, I think that, I mean, my issue is that when you look at who was excluded and who was included, the difference is I mean, there's really not. I mean, you're talking about tenths of percent were, used to include someone or exclude someone. And then a new poll came out Monday from McClatchy, a Marist poll. And actually, the Christie and Huckabee, who were kicked off the debate stage, would have been included had that poll been used and not the oldest one.
Oh, seriously?
And so and this is why I think you got to watch your debate criteria so that you're not. These things, I think, are just really problematic. And so, but
the truth is, like, this is Fox Business hosting this debate. And because it's the Republican debate, they can be arbitrary and capricious. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to complain about Fox. Now, if CNBC had used the same criteria, everybody'd be going crazy.
But everyone's talking about the moderators, and I feel like they're going to be, asking questions with kid gloves tonight.
I hope not.
Because CNBC had such a backlash.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that's correct, and I think that is what people are going to be watching in this debate. But I hope that they're fair and tough. The problem I think with the CNBC moderators were they were kind of nasty in terms of how they phrased their questions. And I think you can ask a tough question in a fair manner. And if you do that, I have no problem with that. In fact, I want them to be tough on these candidates. They're running for president. It's not an easy job. And so I think you just have to take some of the snark out of it and ask a question in a way that gets to the point you're trying to make or what you want them to talk about.
Okay, so Republican debate is later on tonight. Now, what about, are you guys getting ready for yours?
Yeah, Saturday. The Democrats debate here in Des Moines at Drake University. Should be a good debate. I thought the sort of joint appearance they had, they all went one at a time in South Carolina, was an interesting format. Changed it up a little bit, less gotcha. But this will be a real debate here in Des Moines, so I think it'll continue to help sort of give form to the Democratic race. I mean, what's happened in the last month or so, I think, is that the Clinton campaign's had a pretty good month. It all started way back when Kevin McCarthy gave the gift of a lifetime, which is he admitted that the Benghazi hearings were just to try and knock down Hillary Clinton's poll numbers. You combine that with a really strong performance at the Benghazi committee for 11 hours in front of these very hostile, Republican House members, a really good debate performance. And then I think the thing that's really sort of capped this month off for Clinton is this new commercial that she's got on television with the little girl asking her if she'll get paid the same amount as a man president if she gets elected.
Right.
And it's just very humanizing. She does a great job of answering the question. And it's a subject matter which she has, a lot of credibility on.
So the standard wisdom has the top 3 coming out of Iowa having a chance as they go forward. In reality, how many do you think won't get the message and will stay beyond the top 3?
Well, there's only 3 in the Democratic
So
race.
that won't
easy
affect
for
you
us.
guys. Yeah.
You got that covered.
But it's an interesting race because it is really actually, I think, a 2-person race. And so it'll be interesting to kind of watch and see how this debate now, where it's really going to be focused on Sanders and Clinton, how it moves forward. Can he chip into that? Can he expand past a third of the vote for the Democrats? That's what I'm looking for. If he can, it could become an interesting race down the line. If not, this is just going to be a process they go through.
Now, do we know these moderators tonight for the debate or not? Have you heard of them?
I'm sure it's like Lou Dobbs and some of the, I don't know.
It's the woman commentator on Fox Business.
Yeah,
I can't remember her
name.
but-
But I mean, I
she's
think
the
she's
lead
pretty.
person.
Yeah, I think she's pretty
And
good.
then is Kevin doing channel or the one that you guys have?
I know Catherine
it-
Bradovich is on the panel.
Yeah, and Kevin Cooney.
And Cooney.
And
yeah.
Kevin Cooney.
Is it Dickerson?
And then Meet the Press.
And John Dickerson.
And John,
Okay,
John's
that's right,
very
that's right,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John's a great debate moderator.
See,
he'll
I
do
think
very good.
we should have the same moderators for both the Republicans and the Democrats. They should be the same people that do both, and I think they should be Dennis Leary, Louis Black, and Jon Stewart.
Well, look, I look at this.
And Anderson Cooper.
I look
I
at
think
all
he did
this
a great
debate
job.
stuff, and I don't understand why
You
these
just
political parties.
listed off 4 liberals, by the
Yeah,
way.
I don't know why
We'll
these
throw in a couple of Fox.
these
Okay.
Democrat or when you look at these debates in the parties, why don't they look towards the NFL? I mean, the NFL, if they had this problem, they would have sold the rights to these debates, and then they made a lot of money. And
True.
then they're like, well, we sold the rights, we made a lot of money, and they did what they want. I just think it's kind of funny that with these, even the Democrat debate, getting a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs.
A lot of viewers.
A lot of viewers.
Yeah.
I think down the road, there's a lot of different ways we should handle this, and I think anything would be better, at least on the Republican side, than the way that it's been done this time.
Well, the big story tonight, though, don't you think, is can Carson stop the bleeding?
Yeah.
Like, he's had a horrible week. The air's sort of coming out of the balloon for Carson, and he could easily be finished if he doesn't sort of salvage things.
It's
tonight.
funny, the media thinks that, these things don't really matter. The Carson campaign says this has been great for fundraising. And I wrote an article on this yesterday that was titled, look, he doesn't really deserve the benefit of the doubt. You're running for president, you have no record. We have to examine all of this stuff, and it's right to do it. But it's funny, as I wrote the article, after I finished, actually, I dug back in the archives of my website, pulled up October of 2011, and reread the article I wrote about Herman Cain at the same time, basically the same time frame. And it's the same article.
Oh, wow.
So.
He ran into bigger trouble.
And he had some
Yeah, he
bigger
had some
issues.
issues,
He had
too.
some bigger issues than this, but I still think the underlying narrative, he had a lot of things. He's constantly having to explain his position,
Right.
what he said in an interview. That is the same thing that Carson's going through. And the last thing you need or want is a president who constantly has to say, well, you don't understand what I'm saying,
Right.
or I didn't mean it this way.
Right, and you can't be in conflict with your own biography.
Right.
Right, that's
I
the
totally
challenge.
agree.
That's true. All right, so Republican debate tonight.
Find out what happens.
Democratic debate this weekend.